Yeah, we are live with Chaz, Leon, Kings of Thrash. Also, Woke Up Dead, correct? That's the cover band, the Megadeth cover band. And you
Right.
also you're currently still in the Soundgarden cover band? What is the name of the
Right.
cover band again? For
Black
Soundgarden?
Days, Black Days, Daze. I'm a busy
And
man.
dude, you first of all, you get this all the time. You know you look like Chris Cornell a little bit, right?
Yeah, I get that a lot, man. On my
I
good days.
told
On
you
my
that.
good days.
I told you that, and I didn't even know you were involved in a Soundgarden cover band. I said, "Yo, you got that Chris Cornell energy on stage after," because
Yeah.
we did, yeah, it really cool stuff, man. So how the heck did you get involved with Dave Ellefson and Jeff Young? How did that come into play?
Yeah, man. That's kind of a cool story, actually. So basically, they got together. So they had been working on Nick Menza, former Megadeth drummer who recently passed away. Rest in peace. Nick, his management, they're working on like a documentary, like kind of with his collection stuff, which I think is coming out pretty soon. But that's how they hooked up together early 2022. Just started talking again, and then in May of 2022, there's the Whiskey A Go Go does something called the Ultimate Jam Night,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll do it like every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, every month or so, and they pay tribute to like certain artists. So they did that. They decided to do that for the big four of thrash metal: Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Slayer. So Jeff gets invited to be a part of that, and then Dave Ellefson gets invited to be a part of that. And all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, they're like, "Hey, let's do some classic Megadeth." And Dave has been wanting to revisit that '80s era, that the hardcore fans really want to see. So they're like, "Hey, we need someone to do fucking vocals and guitar. We need someone on short notice." So the organizer of that event, one of the organizers, Jessica Chase, was like, I actually saw them advertise that, which was kind of cool. I was like, oh, Dave Ellefson's playing. Oh, Jeff Young's playing. They're going to do Megadeth. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I wonder who's going to sing that. I'm like, I know someone who can sing Megadeth. And then I hit up Jessica on Facebook. I'm like, hey, this is kind of cool. I'm like, who do you got doing the vocals? She's like, well, actually, we were going to ask you. So yeah, then I'm like, hey, yeah, hell yeah, I'd be down. And then, I think the next day, this is a few weeks before the event. The next day, I get like a friend request from Jeff Young. He hits me up on Facebook. He's very cool, very, very just, we start chatting about the project. We do a couple Skype or I think it's Facebook Messenger, like video sessions, just going over the guitar parts. That was our rehearsal. And then they bring me down to the Whiskey A Go Go, meet Dave Ellefson. He's there, super cool guy. Just Dave Ellefson. Obviously, he's got a great reputation, and it's well deserved. Just cool as shit.
He is.
Chatting, super friendly. We go in there. We run. Our rehearsal is an unplugged rehearsal. Behind the scenes, like 10 minutes before we go on. We're like, okay, look, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. It's a jam. Just have fun.
Yeah.
We go out and we nail it. And the internet gets posted, and the videos get posted. Or actually, even before the videos got posted, the crowd just went nuts. And then Dave Ellefson, we get off the stage. Dave Ellefson's like, he's like, to be continued. And I'm like, oh, sweet. He's like, and then later that night, he comes up to me. He's like, learn all of So Far, So Good, So What. Learn all of Killing Is My Business, and we'll talk. And then one thing led to another, and next thing we know, we're planning an initial tour in October with Chris Poland, and then we did that big run on the East Coast and Midwest where I met you, and then now next week we're headed to Australia. So here we are.
Wow. And you never been to Australia before, or have you?
I've never been, man. First time.
Now, before this opportunity that you got, were you traveling a lot, or you're based in the West Coast, correct?
I'm based out of Southern California. I'm not a super well-traveled guy, man. I'm not.
So this is all very new to you. The tour bus, this type of lifestyle, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, totally new, totally new. I'm
Yeah.
brand new at this play. I mean, I played music for like for years, my whole life,
Mhm.
but playing at this level, this is all new to me.
Yeah. Going to different cities and seeing different stuff. It's got to be pretty cool. Got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. I mean, the ultimate. When I talk to my friends about it, because I have a Megadeth tribute as
Yeah.
well called "Woke Up Dead," and people know how big of a Megadeth fan I've been for a long time, and they're like, "What the hell?" They're like, "What the hell? You're jamming with the guys? How did that happen?" And I'm
It's insane. I
life's
know. I
crazy
mean,
sometimes.
it's like a dream come true. I mean,
Yeah,
realistically, right?
yeah, it
Dave
is.
Ellefson to me is like, to me, Megadeth is Dave Mustaine and David Ellefson, because even when
I
you
agree.
watch like the behind the music thing, like the story of them living in the same apartment complex, and they're like playing, like they're above each other and they could hear each other playing, like it's
Yeah.
amazing. And then like we grow up list, like I couldn't imagine, we love them, you actually are playing their songs, you know a lot of their songs, and then this opportunity comes to you. It's just amazing to see how the universe works.
Yeah.
Like you are just appropriate for the job. Like it probably wasn't anyone better than you to hire for this job. What
Thank you, man.
cities did you enjoy going to?
Oh man, let's see. Man, so we did because you were with us. What was that? Greensboro?
Yeah, North Carolina. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
that
originally
that
from New
shit was
York,
fun.
but yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you got that. You got. Yeah, I was gonna say you sound like New York or New Jersey, right?
yeah.
Were
I'm
you
from New
Brooklyn?
York, but now I'm out here. So recently, so
You Brooklyn?
Yonkers.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha. Cool, man.
yeah,
Cool. Yeah, yeah. I told you. I think I told you my mom's from Schenectady, right?
yeah. You did, yeah.
Yes. Anyways, random. But yeah. So favorite cities. Dude, Greensboro was a trip, man, because you saw how insane the crowd got there. We were just like, whoa, these people are nuts,
They were.
in a good way.
Let me say something really quickly, just so you guys can understand. Let me paint this picture, man. I seen Megadeth a year before. Unfortunately, that was when the Daves they split, right? And Dave Ellefson was no longer in Megadeth, and I was so bummed out that I didn't get to see Dave and Dave together.
Yeah.
But the crowd was hype, right? I mean, it was an amazing show. I was it was like a bucket list thing. I've never seen Megadeth in my life, so I was like, wow, I was in awe. But the crowd was not like this place. People were thrashing like I mean, there was pits. People were falling on the ground. People get like it was there was a lot of energy, and it felt like I was like in a time capsule almost, like, because you guys are playing all these old songs.
Yeah.
And I was so curious, just like me analyzing the show, because I didn't do that at all on anything, and just to paint the picture, coming in after interviewing you guys, which was a blast, by the way. When you guys performed, it felt not like okay, this is like guest appearances. I almost felt like I was like, it felt like a Megadeth show. Like it really did. It was
That's
effing
awesome.
crazy, because like you know you guys. I mean, if you think about it, Dave's been there since day one, David Ellison, so he knows what everything's supposed to sound like, right? So why would it not? I mean, you guys are all amazing musicians. Shout out to Fred too, who is an
Okay.
incredible drummer.
Oh
Wow,
yeah.
dude, hit me up. We gotta get you on the show too,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
I
Fred, if
was
you're
like,
watching,
it
he's
was
awesome.
it was crazy, but the energy was sick. But so yeah, you like Greensboro. What other states did you go to that?
Yeah. Well, thank you for the compliment, man. That's
Of
what we're
course.
that's what we're going for. We're trying to recreate that, the '80s era of Megadeth, where it's just mayhem, and you watch those old thrash videos where there's bodies, people stage diving and shit, and that's, dude. If you've seen our DVD, the best of the West, that's what it is, man. I mean, it's people stage diving. It's like an '80s thrash show, and we're bringing that for the 21st century, man. So that's the game plan, and it's good to hear that it's being executed.
Oh, sure,
um,
it sure is, man.
Right on, brother. Let's see, man. Other cool cities, dude. Sayreville, New Jersey was badass, man. I mean, they came out. We did the Starland Ballroom. They came out. They packed that place, and they ripped it. They ripped that place down too. That was awesome. Gramercy was fun. That's always been like that was a dream for me too. I've seen. I lived on the East Coast for a while, and I saw many shows at the Gramercy, so it was cool to be able to play there. Flint, Michigan, dude. Flint, Michigan. They fucking love their metal up there, dude. And that was a cool show too, man. So that one, check this out. That was badass. I got to play with so Chuck Beeler lives in Michigan, and he was the drummer from Megadeth on So Far So Good So What. And we did a couple songs with them. So like, I mean, that was another pinch me moment too, man, because I'm up there with the So Far So Good So What lineup. So it's me, fucking Chuck Beeler, Dave Ellefson, Jeff Young. So it's just like the decline of, you know, Western civilization metal years video, and I'm getting to play with them, dude. And it was so badass. The crowd was just electric. They were going crazy, dude. I had heavy metal Santa. There was this guy wearing a Santa outfit at a fucking heavy metal show. He's up in the front, you know, fucking raging, like going crazy. I'm like, all right, dude. This is how they roll out here in Flint.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
Oh my God! So is it just one show in Australia, or is there an actual like UK tour or something?
Yeah, man. This is it's like a little mini tour, man. So we're gonna hit up 4 destinations. We're doing Canberra, Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. So these are kind of like the 4 big markets out there. We're gonna go one after another, all in a row, and just knock out Australia. And it's I couldn't be happier, dude.
Hell yeah, man! You traveling, playing music, meeting people. You know, I mean, it's an amazing thing. One thing I picked up when we did that interview, and guys, if you have not seen that interview, it was a great interview. It was about 40 minutes. So much different conversation. We went from, you know, just talking about the early days to, you know, Jeff and David just talking about, you know, putting over these young talents, which I think is so respect. I love the fact that you know, the OGs are putting on to the younger dudes. To David talking about you know, Dave Mustaine first here in Kill 'Em All, which was very crazy.
Yeah.
That was a situation. The sneaker stuff was fun, man.
Make a song.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Whatever that is, that will become a Kings of Thrash song.
There you go.
We're gonna
Kicked out of hell.
Kicked out of hell.
So yeah, man. I mean, it was so sick. We have a link in the description to that. Watch that, and I have his Instagram too. Make sure you follow him so you know everything he's doing, because he may be in your city and you need to go and watch him, because I'm telling you, the energy is through the effing roof, man. But when we were when we were done doing the interview, I learned that you really loved the Attitude Era. Like, you were a huge wrestling fan back in the days, right?
Dude, I'm a huge fan of. So I grew up on the 80s and 90s WWE or WWF back then. So, you know, Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania. You know what's funny too, man? Yesterday not yesterday, but a couple days ago, I'm at the gym, right? Dude, there he is. There he is. In his prime, man. He's got the headband and everything. Yeah. Dude, so check this out, man. And you know, we could probably, you know, relate to this being, you know, probably I think I think we're close in age or similar generations. Yeah, we talked about that. But yeah, dude. So I'm at the gym working out, man, and I see this kid. You know, he's like 18 years old max. You know, like a teenager. He's got a WrestleMania 6 T-shirt on, dude. And I'm like, bro, WrestleMania 6. That was Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. I'm like, dude, there's no way you weren't even born when that shit was going on. And this kid is wearing a WrestleMania 6 T-shirt. I'm like, damn, dude, like fucking, that's not for people like my age.
Did he know anything about it, or he's just wearing a tee?
No, he's a wrestling fan. Like, he likes. I mean, I don't even know. You know, I kind of stopped watching after you know, in the early 2000s. But he likes the current era of the WWE, and I guess he just got that shirt for, you know. I mean, everyone knows who. That shows you the power of the brand, man. That and kind of like it's similar with Megadeth and with Kings of Thrash. You know, you got these old pop culture brands that we grew up with, man, like WrestleMania 6, Hulk Hogan, Warrior, Megadeth, Metallica. You know, it's like, dude, this is shit that we grew up with, and kids today fucking love it, man. And it's, you know, whatever the reason. I mean, I know for us, it's, you know, there's nostalgia there, but kids today are connecting with it, man, and that's a good sign, dude. For everyone that's all doom and gloom and oh, everything's going to end and we're all going to hell, which who knows, maybe we are. But yeah, dude, give the kids some credit, man. I mean, let them develop, let them become their own thing,
The only thing is, I wish some of these kids would actually invest some time into looking into what they're wearing, because there's so many that they're wearing these shirts from our era, and they don't know shit about shit. Like they wear Misfits shirts, and they couldn't name you one Misfits song. Like you ask them what's 138, they'd be like, "What? It's not. What time is it?" They wouldn't know nothing, or Megadeth, or even like the wrestling.
That's why we got to keep them honest, man. I mean,
and that's partially our responsibility to school a little bit, right?
Well said. Hey, look, man, I remember being a young buck myself, man, and some of the cats in the warehouse I used to work at, they checked me a little bit on some of my pop culture references. Now it's my turn to do the same to the young kids out there. I'm just keeping them honest, man. Nothing but love.
That's right. So what was your favorite wrestling moments back then? Like that, like when you were younger, that was just holy shit moments.
You know what, dude? Okay, so I'll do a couple. The first one that comes to my mind was Survivor Series 91. This is when I'm first getting into wrestling, dude. So, I'm a little kid at this point. Yeah. But it's Hulk Hogan versus The Undertaker, man. And, when you're a little kid, no one beats Hulk Hogan, man. He's he's just unstoppable, dude. And then you see this is The Undertaker when he's brand new, dude. So the whole dead man thing, no one had ever seen anything like that. It's whoa, what is this guy? He's kind of scary, but he's also badass. And it's just whoa, you don't, you're kind of scared of him, but he's badass because you don't know if you want to boo him or not because he's kind of cool. And he's taking apart Hulk Hogan, and then he pins Hulk Hogan. I mean, they cheat, of course, but he pins Hulk Hogan, and you're just whoa, it's just at that moment, I was okay, I'm supposed to be sad that the Hulkster got taken out. But this new Undertaker is kind of badass.
Well, yeah, I mean he was badass, man. Yeah. That was when he had the red hair too, right? Did he have red hair?
Yeah, the gloves. He had the gloves. The funeral parlor. Yeah,
yeah. Paul Bearer, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, that dude was freaking crazy. Yeah, Hogan was a superhero to us when we were kids. Mentioning remember Ultimate Warrior beating Hogan was crazy. That was devastating to some. But some people thought he was cool as shit because he had that metal vibe to him. He come in the ring with the guitars and shaking the ropes and
exactly.
Shit. And rock star. It was badass, man. Yeah. He said exactly. Papa Shango. Yo, shout out to Stretch. You met Stretch when we did that interview. Shout out to Stretch Boogie in the building. Yeah.
Papa Shango, aka the Godfather, man. That was his second. Yeah, that was his second. I mean, hey, what was badass about the Attitude Era? This is what trips me out. The Attitude Era was it was a lot of the same guys from that era, but they just updated their characters. So you got Papa Shango, and now he's the Godfather. I'm like, I know who that is, but it's that was fun. And that was hilarious too.
With the Ho Train. Oh my God, man. Yeah, man, and then The Rock coming in and Mick Foley, that Hell in a Cell match with Undertaker and Mick Foley was insanity.
Dude, I remember the first time I saw that, man. That was I saw because I'd taken a break from wrestling, kind of in the '90s, and then in high school we got kind of back into it because of the Attitude Era. You're just whoa, what are they? Wrestling is just you got Stone Cold, you got The Rock when he was the corporate Rock. That was the best version of The Rock. The early heel Rock was just, you can't top that. You can't top that. And then, but yeah, you had the Hell in the Cell, and I'm watching this, and I see fucking, because I knew who Mick Foley was, the Cactus Jack, and then this dude's getting shucked off the fucking top of the Hell in the Cell, crashes in, and he comes back out and does the match again. I'm this is fucking insane.
And then Undertaker grabbed him and lifted him up on top of it after, and then threw him on the cage, and then it fell, and he dropped onto the mat that dude, Mick Foley's got to be one of the craziest bastards ever. I've met him late, a few years ago. He seems very more relaxed, but I couldn't imagine his mindset back then.
Dude, yeah, that's ultimate commitment as a performer, dude. You see. Yeah. I mean, the bar they set, Mick Foley and everyone from that era, dude. That just the matches they had were just insane, you know. And it's I don't know if you can ever do that again, man.
But they could never, because of the way the world is now. Everyone would be offended by so much. I mean, they said some crazy. I see some of the clips on like social media, and I forget like they've said these things, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, there wouldn't even be WWE if they did what they did now. Then, like, it was.
Yeah, you know, I think I've always, you know, I won't say too much, dude, but I've always thought that, like, hey, look, man, you know, if you can joke about something, like if you want to make something normal, right? You want to make it accepted, like where it's friendly, like amongst society. Joking about it is the ultimate sign. Like, if I'm with my homies or whatever, and we're joking about, you know, we're just giving each other a hard time about whatever, you know, like that's the ultimate sign of acceptance. That's the ultimate sign that we're like cool with each other. You know, to me, I'm like, hey, you know, if you're gonna point out every little thing and get offended by every little thing, I think that's taking a step backwards. It's like we're actually cool with a lot of this stuff, and it's like now because you got some people that don't like it, they want to, you know, they want to put their views onto everybody else, and it's like, wait a minute, you know, we're cool over here. You're the one that's got the problem, you know. So anyway, that's all I'll say about that.
No, I hear you. Yeah, I think though, honestly, social media people just want attention, so that's why there's all this crap going on, man.
Yeah.
So were you also in a Slayer cover band, or no? Or you just know how to play Slayer songs?
No, I do know how to play some Slayer songs. But no, I was in for tribute bands. I was in a Metallica tribute a few years back called Anesthesia, and that kind of opened. Rest in peace, Cliff. Absolutely, man. That kind of opened the door to tributes, and that's an interesting story too, because I was just looking to play, and I was like, hey, man, I just want to play. I was like, what's a band I love? Metallica. So me and Tony, the guitar player for Anesthesia, we connected on was it Craigslist? I can't remember how we did. It was some kind of social media forum. It might have been Craigslist, dude. But we connected, and we're just like, look, we both just want to play. So we started the Metallica tribute, and then we just kind of, you know, got a little following, and it's Metallica, and then I think people could tell, you know, how passionate we were, how into the songs we were. Then, you know, a year later, I see an ad for a Megadeth tribute, and I always was kind of like, hey, man, you know, because there's a lot of Metallica tributes out there. I was like, hey, there should be a really badass Megadeth tribute. I'm like, I don't really see that often. Like, I'm like, I don't, because you see killer Iron Maiden tributes, you see killer Black Sabbath tributes, and killer Metallica tributes. I'm like, no one really does it for Megadeth, and I'm like, you know, it's a lot more challenging musically, so that's probably why. But we decided to do it, and we were like, hey, man, let's make this a quality Megadeth tribute, and you know, that's how Woke Up Dead was born. So,
and so what is were there any songs that you were playing a little bit off that you learned how to play it the correct way, being that you were playing it? Sometimes people play and it's just a little bit different. And then now you have members of Megadeth with you, and has there ever been a song where they were like, this is actually how you're supposed to play it, like this little.
Yeah, so, that's funny. And if I wasn't on my phone, I would show you on guitar. But let me see if I could do it. But anyways, there is a. So most of the stuff we got in Woke Up Dead, we got it pretty accurate. But there's a couple little. It wasn't anything major, like all the chords and everything, and most of the pedaling and stuff was pretty accurate. But there was one part in Wake Up Dead. Let's see if I can
if you have get like a something to lean your phone on, like a soda or a book. Yeah.
Okay. And this was probably the biggest one that I was playing wrong. Let's see if I can. And it's so hard to hear it on the record, because you know you got so much distortion.
Mm-hmm.
But so the outro riff to Wake Up Dead, which is like, well, let me get it right. That's it.
Yeah.
Now I'm on the spot, so I'm like, okay, let's see. But like I was playing it like I was going like bump, 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 and like there's a little triplet in there that like the second like the first time I played that song with Chris Poland and Jeff Young, they both like looked at me and smiled. They're like, "We're gonna tell you something that Mustaine used to get on us about." They're like, "There's actually a little triplet there," so it's like bump bump. I can't.
Yeah, it's all right.
So there's like a little.
Yeah, that little.
Yeah, and I was just going. So there was like that. There it is. And they both got on me about that. I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. So I thought that was kind of cool.
It's amazing that you got the criticism that Chris and Jeff got from Dave. Now they've passed the torch to you, yeah. Giving you the information. It was like, it's like the messengers, like from Dave to them now to you on how to correctly play. Because there's always these little parts I hear sometimes where even like when a band hires someone new, they think they know how to play it, but there's just a little tweak in a riff that needs to be adjusted. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, that was a cool one, man, because they both, the second I started playing it, like they both stopped, they looked at each other, they smiled, they looked back at me, and they're like, "We're going to get on you," because Dave used to get on us about this. They're like, "There's a little triplet there." I'm like, "What? What are you?" I'm like, "I can't even hear that." They're like, "No, you can't hear it because of all the distortion, but trust us, it's there." So I'm like, "Hey, I'm not arguing with these guys, you know?"
Yeah. So, yeah. That's amazing, man. What is your favorite songs to play, like from Megadeth?
Oh man. Let's see. I got a few. I would say for the Kings of Thrash, from that era, definitely a fan of man, Looking Down the Cross is awesome. Skull Beneath the Skin. Skull Beneath the Skin is probably my personal favorite, just because like when you drop into that, like, after Jeff does his little intro and we drop into that riff, it's just punishing like insanity. It's just the vibe of that song is just so evil. It's just so cool. Looking Down the Cross, same thing. It's a little more melodic, but it's just got a really evil vibe to it. Rattlehead's fun, just because the crowd always goes nuts. And then from from some of the later eras, I like Five Magics. Oh, Take No Prisoners from Rust in Peace.
Oh my God, the energy on that. That gets the violence going in the crowd.
That's it, dude. That song. and Woke Up Dead was rehearsing that the other day. We hadn't played that in a while. And like, yeah, let's do Take No Prisoners. We're like, oh, okay. So we start launching into that riff, and then as soon as it does the helicopter, I'm like, oh, fuck, yeah, I forgot how badass the song was.
Yeah, it's so badass, man. That's such a great effing album. You said you were in a Metallica cover band. That's where you started. You wanted to play music. You're a musician. You need to find other musicians. You said the Craigslist or whatever it was. I think it probably was. That's what everyone was using back then. Yep. I think so. What did you think of the new Metallica album that came out, the 72 Seasons?
Yeah, dude. I'm a fan overall. I haven't. It's funny, man. The Metallica albums, ever since Injustice for All. Well, I mean, you had a detour, but Metallica. Metallica's albums are really, really long and really, really dense. So it takes a while to like get into them, man, because the songs are so long. So I've only probably really listened to about half of, I've heard all of 72 Seasons and I think it's cool. But I've only like really listened to like about half of it. And I think it's badass, man. And I think, for Metallica to still be doing what they're doing, still making interesting shit, they're one of the greatest heavy metal bands ever, dude. Yeah. All the stuff that they've done. There's some stuff that, obviously I'm not a big Saint Anger guy, not a big Reload guy.
I don't think anyone is.
I actually did like Load, but Reload didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
But Metallica sounds best. Metallica's a fucking metal band, dude. It's like when they even like parts of Load, like I get what they're trying to do. Like they're trying to be more like almost
more
like
rock. It seemed like very rock. Yeah.
But it's like you can tell they just want, like, they're a metal band, dude. Like, they're meant to be thrashing and riffing. I mean, they can do other stuff for sure. Obviously, they can write great songs, like, you know, ballads and stuff. But like, Metallica sounds best when they're thrashing it up and just ripping your head off. That's the Metallica I like. You know, Battery, Fight Fire with Fire. Like, that's just awesome, dude.
Fight Fire with Fire is so incredible. How it's so soothing and beautiful in the beginning. That's, you know, in the beginning with that dun, 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 like the acoustic guitar, and then it just gets so dark, and then the guitar's kind of dun, dun, it's so fast. Like it's I think their most fast song is Dyer's Eve. I think
Dyer's
that's like
Eve.
but I think that may be coming at number 2 as far as actual speed, like factual speed. Like that shit is fast. I mean, I'm talking about Metallica wise, not all metal, not other metal.
Yeah, Metallica can play fast, man. And you know, people, you know, I'll say this about Metallica, you know, having covered Metallica songs, you know, that's the number one band that, you know, you talk about internet land, and, you know, everyone on the internet's an expert, right? You know, everybody, you know, you look at Blabbermouth, Facebook, everybody talks shit about Metallica. It's like, if you read some of the comments, it'd be like, wow, this must be the worst band ever. You know, because everybody's, oh, this sucks, blah, blah, blah. Lars, Kirk Hammett, it's amateur hour.
I know.
So, you know, why don't you get together and cover some Metallica songs? Let's see you play And Justice for All live. Let's see you play Eye of the Beholder. Let's see you play Disposable Heroes. Like, get out there and do it. Like, don't sleep on Metallica, man. Metallica, yeah, I mean, it's not, I mean, look, there's you know, just comparing Metallica and Megadeth, you know, there's other bands to compare. Yeah, the guitar playing in Megadeth, it's on a different level, dude. It's not a serious conversation. Megadeth, it's just different, dude. You got Chris Poland, Jeff Young, Marty Friedman. I mean, these are different caliber players, dude. They're at a different level. But that doesn't mean Metallica sucks, dude. They're awesome at what they do, dude. Like, it's epic. So I'm a fan. I'm a defender of Metallica.
I'm a big defender of Metallica because the thing is, like, yes, they, like, Lars Ulrich gets so much shit. Oh, he sucks. He's no Dave Lombardo. Well, let me tell you something, brother. Got my Hogan in there. Like, Lars, people don't understand. Like, Lars is, like, I always say he's like the headpiece of, like, if they were like a Megatron or some shit, or some kind of, like, fucking Voltron. I meant, like, they submit all the riffs to him, and then he puts all that shit together. Like, there's a lot of talent to Lars. Like, and it's not always about how fast you play. And in our interview, remember, Jeff was even saying that it's about making music you could feel. And then when people criticize Kirk, so people are saying, like, oh, Kirk is overrated. Man, you listen to, like, the Solo and Ride the Lightning, like, that shit fucking grabs your heart and just throws that shit everywhere. Like, you put out, I don't think anyone will disagree. The first 4 Metallica albums are classics. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All. And then, you know, Black Album is an incredible album too. Shit.
Good song. Good song.
We'll just say those 4, because some people will say it's kind of hard rock, the Black Album. But we don't need to go there with that debate. But those 4 albums, dude, you cannot be, oh, they're okay. It's musicianship. Music is supposed to be something you feel. And if you just
feel it, exactly,
then you ain't making us feel. I mean, Megadeth did that to us. We could feel, you know, with that. But it's not always about the speed. Like,
no, they both did. That's what's awesome about Metallica and Megadeth. People are like, which one do you like better? I'm like, dude, they're all both badass. Like, at the end of the day, let's just, like, wait a minute. As fans, we get 2 killer fucking thrash bands. Like, hell yeah, dude. Like, we win. The consumer wins, you know? Like,
I say it all the time. Thank God they kicked out Dave Mustaine. I know it hurt him and brought a lot of pain to him, but can you imagine this world without Megadeth?
Nope.
Shit.
No, especially, right? Me, no. No,
you
I can't,
especially.
Dude. Yeah, I know, right? Well, man, and then Megadeth influenced Pantera. You know, you don't get Pantera without, well, I mean, Megadeth and Metallica, but you look at that stream, Slayer too. You know, Kerry King. He did some early Megadeth shows, and he got some connections and hookups.
Yeah, first.
Yeah, that's right, dude. So you got, you know, you got, that whole world of what they that kind of spark that they create. Exodus too, Exodus was there.
Anthrax, you got to mention Anthrax too, definitely.
Anthrax, man, Anthrax. Who knows if Metallica even survives on the East Coast without Anthrax? I mean, I don't know the story, but I heard Anthrax helped them out, dude. So all of that shit.
Their equipment got stolen while they were in New York, and they were literally staying with Anthrax, and they lent them their shit for a while they were recording their album. And those guys from Anthrax, those guys are some of the best guys I've ever met. I've gotten to interview them. I know I could see why everyone loves and respects them, in the industry, because you never hear any heat with them. You hear about beefs and little here's and there's and stuff. People throw shots in interviews, subliminals. Yeah. You never hear that about with Anthrax. They're just very likable people,
Cool dudes, man.
Yeah. You just recently played what's dude's name that was that did the solo for Hit the Lights? Lloyd
Grant.
Yeah, you jammed with him. Was that one of them jam things you were talking about earlier?
Right, man. Yeah, that was an honor too, dude. That was another ultimate jam. That was a tribute to Metallica, man. I keep jamming with these heavy metal legends. I'm like, all right, ultimate jam. Who's next?
Yeah, bring it on.
I have the good fortune. Yeah, I'm very fortunate. But yeah, that was cool as shit. Lloyd Grant, very cool guy. He played on the first demo even before Mustaine did. And he was there at the beginning too, man. So we did a little Hit the Lights. We did Seek and Destroy, and Lloyd's just a cool guy, and we hung out and we're chatting, and yeah, man, that was fun.
That's what's up, man. One thing that's cool about this day and age, and maybe I can try to inspire something right here, or try to put some hints out there, is music now. It's so easy to record versus back then when these bands that we grew up listening to, they have to go to the studio, record on tape, which costs so much money. You can literally record tracks on a computer anywhere, and then just Pro Tools and send people ain't even using Pro Tools anymore. There's other programs that's cheap.
Way more advanced, yeah.
You can send stuff, bounce around. Maybe you guys could do a collaboration or something would be cool in the future.
You never know.
That's what's cool about music now. It's so easy to send files now. Before you had to literally go places and record the shit.
Yeah.
So it's incredible, man. Well, man, I don't want to keep too much of your time. I appreciate you so much, man, and I hope to see you again. We had a blast during that interview. I did, at least, and the performance was incredible, and hopefully you guys come back to the United States and do some more gigs.
We will. That's the plan. Yeah, we'll just keep following Kings of Thrash. Yeah, definitely gonna do more.
The merch is dope too, man. I like the merch.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah.
The real colorful. You see, I got all these sneakers. I looked at that. I was like, oh, what can I wear with that shirt, man? I got one that I got.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we got to get into the. What do you got back there? You got your sneakers.
What do you have?
Is that number 24, Kobe Bryant?
Yeah. Oh, up there. Yeah, that's Kobe.
There he is, dude. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk.
You're a big basketball guy.
Classic era. Yeah, remember we were talking MJ. MJ. I'm a big hoops guy. I don't watch it as much. I'm not. I don't think I'll ever be a LeBron fan the way I was with MJ and Kobe. But LeBron, I cannot deny the guy's talent, dude. Just fucking stud,
I don't
man.
like how his energy with the flopping and stuff, bro.
It's different.
And no one's touching. It's like wrestling, bro. It's like it's a work, bro. Right? You see the clip?
Yeah. No, I mean, give me Jordan, give me Kobe, but hey, that could be a discussion for another time, man. You never know.
Yeah, I mean that Smash Mouth they were tough back then, man. Barkley, they were tough as nails, bro.
Right, man. Charles Oakley, bro, the enforcer.
Dude, Charles Oakley. I grew up in New York, right? As I said, I just moved to the South a couple of years ago. He opened up a car wash in Yonkers. It was called Oakley's Car Wash. You see him there a bunch of times. You go get your car wash. He's there by the around the office area. You're like, oh shit, there's Charles Oakley over there, bro.
You better not. You better not be leaving any gum underneath the fucking seat for Charles Oakley, man. He got some words with you.
Yeah, he was tough, man. Well, yo, man,
dude.
make sure you guys support everything that Chaz is doing. Follow him. I have a link for your convenience in the description box. Hit the like, the thanks, share with a friend, and watch the interview of us all because it was really cool. The magic of that interview was the fact that you had the two different kind of generations making like in the tour bus and then performing and talking about so much different type of stuff. We were talking about sneakers for a hot minute too, which was crazy because those guys don't get the credit. Like they were wearing all the hot sneakers. Megadeth. Megadeth and Lars was wearing Jordan 1s all the time.
Right,
they don't. The rappers get all the credit. But to tell you the truth, the rappers wearing Adidas back then. My Adidas, Run DMC. You didn't hear no my Jordans or not. I mean, Megadeth wasn't Adidas, but we're singing about Jordans. But they were wearing them shits all the time. They were, and I was like, I have to put that content out there because it was so important. So watch that interview. Once again, they are. If you're in Australia, do you know the dates offhand or?
Yeah, man. July 12th. Let me get the exact dates here. Let me fire this up. It'll be July 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. Let me get the dates and venues for the people in the internet land. Where are you at here? Where are we at? Give me a second here. Come on. Yeah. So it's going to be July 12th in Canberra at the Basement, July 13th in Brisbane at the Zoo, July 14th in Melbourne at Max Watts, and July 15th in Sydney at the Crowbar.
You better be there, be square, all right? And I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. It's so much fun, bro. You're going to be in a time capsule, man. And as I said, the energy is crazy because you're hearing all of these legendary old songs, but with the new technology, the amps sound better. Dude, oh my God, crazy. Yo, real quick, I got to ask you this. I forgot to ask you this. Chris Poland, what was it like with Chris Poland? Like interaction, working with him and all of that?
Dude, Chris is awesome, man. Well, first of all, Chris is one of my favorite guitar players, just period. And Chris is just a freaking treasure, dude. I mean, that guy is – there's so much that I've learned from Jeff, Chris, and David. And then just, Chris, in terms of his technique, is just insane. I mean, there's nobody that plays like Chris Poland. I mean, he's one of the finest fucking guitar players in the world. And, yeah, dude, he is such a chill guy, great guy. I mean, he's basically a member of the Kings of Thrash. We tour with him whenever available. It's a schedule thing. It's just like, hey, whenever Chris is available, boom, he's on board, but so sometimes he's with the Kings, sometimes he's not, but it's all love. Actually, he and Jeff Young right now are in together. They're out at a convention in Boston. So yeah, I mean, we're still very, very much connected. We rehearse at Chris Poland's studio. I use his gear. Actually, I have a funny story about that. I'll save it for next time. That'll be a funny story about me and Chris Poland's amp. Anyways, to be continued. And yeah, he helps us out a lot. But one thing I really like about Chris is how fucking humble he is. And with that kind of talent, that kind of knowledge and ability, like if there's one guitar player that I can tell, just ask, recommend young players follow in terms of technique, style, like a guy that plays everything from metal to jazz fusion. So open your mind to that. And his attitude, dude, how humble this guy is. Like, that's how you want to be as a player and as a musician. That's what's up. And there's not enough of that in this world. So big Chris Poland fan.
Hell yeah, man. Salute to him. Legends, man.
Yeah.
Thank you once again, man. Guys, hit the likes, subscribe, share, check out the full interview. And yo, have a great weekend. Happy 4th of July. Don't drink and drive. Don't be a cheap mother effer, man. Get a damn Uber, whatever the F it is, man. You catch a D-Wee, your life's fucked.
That's
so
right.
Drink and drive. Be safe.
Be good. Hey, man, pleasure, brother. We got to do it again, man. I had fun.
Nah, hang out. I'm just gonna
okay.
end it.
Yeah, cool.
Yo, love y'all, man. Keep rocking.